Welcome to another episode here on Oxyotl on Legendaries. So, we basically defeated the first enemy. And let's see what we can do here. There's a lot of... I'm considering doing anything that is leveling up skills as like a video on itself. Like I'll demonstrate where I just showcase how I'm going to develop them. And then I'm going to do that instead of just, having to go through every single time. I'll just do it once and I'll tell you, hey, if you want to know how I level up my lords and heroes, this is how. But yeah, we're going to go for the tier 3 for the Bastiladon's Revivification Crystals, like I told you on the last episode. So that's the next step in the progression that I want to have for Oxyotl. And now this is the visions of the old ones, a little bit better now. So... we have to destroy a settlement, or, well, we'll get a treasury, 1,000. This one is close. And the idea is that if you have something close, or you can protect it more easily. And the idea is that you're going to have this sort of outposting. You're gonna conquer places. And the more you fight, the better. And of course, Oxyotl can only travel once to that location. And then if he comes back he can always go back to the home base or to where there's a specific building from the sanctums. But let's declare war here. And yeah, I could give some more leadership. I think to the skinks is always nice. And this is magical attacks. So I guess the chameleon skinks are always going to have some different ones. So that's only clan rats. There's like one shielded unit. And everything else is like a Night Runner, and that everything else is the Skaven slave. So, I mean, this is an army that is exactly... my army is actually tailored to deal with this sort of army. Because every single one of my unit is more powerful than theirs. And they're just going to go... I'm going to just engage fairly easily. And watch my flanks. And when the dinosaurs arrive, that's when the fun begins. This is where the fun begins. Yeah, that's a Star Wars quote, and I like all of Star Wars. Beat me on it if you wish. I don't care. I like it. I'll digest Star Wars every day. I grew up with Star Wars. I mean, that's it. And still, I wish they would do a Star Wars Total War, but I also want Medieval 3, and Warhammer 40k. So, I mean, in time, I'll have to keep my state of mind ready for those possibilities. So, Skaven slaves and clan rats galore, and a lot of skirmishes. They're throwing their stones, but I have blowpipes. I don't have that problem. And these guys are just throwing their projectiles while catching up to them. It's amazing. Over here we have a little bit of a problem. Too many units nearby, but it's okay. I can heal them up, and I can approach them, no problem. Send a couple of units to help out here. And that should be fine. I'm already using another cohort to shoot on the back of these ratmen. And my Bastiladon is like, oh, so many ratmen to kill. Oh, so good. Oh, lunchtime. There we go. Yeah. Fetch, boy. I mean, use that enormous tail that you have. It's like the size of 5 rats. You can kill them with just that. Yeah, I'm now attacking the warlord here, and using a fireball that whiffs. Oh yeah, it's the problem with the not going to zoom and realizing the map. Already managed to use the fireball there again. You can see the last one whiffed, and it's really nice in recharging. So overall, everything seems to be fine. Like I told you, clan rats and Skaven slaves are not going to do the trick against these guys. By the way, I don't know what sometimes happens with my microphone. Sometimes it just remembers that it works well. Sometimes it doesn't. But I'm trying to later edit the voice to see if it is lower. But I keep hitting pitching, and that's a problem. But I'll try to keep it to the minimum. If there's a problem with the voice, let me know. because it also can be my headphones, and I never know if it is my headphones or if it is just too loud. And sometimes people watch this on the phone and they actually prefer that to be a little bit louder. So, army replenishment. So there's a lot of stuff here. That was a good victory. Let me conquer the place. If not mistaken, there's no battle there. Yeah, there was no battle here. And now I have some blessed units as well, so I'm going to consider having a second army here in the Blood Swamps. Maybe I'll go and move to the island, because that seems to be controlled by these guys, and that's a province in itself. So let's get a Slan Mage. Always get the Slan Mage, because it costs nothing, it just costs timing. Let's get one of Life, it's always very useful. Okay, it's always a very useful slan. They improved the slan, the lore of life to have a little bit of damage with Awakening of the Woods, and that's actually a nice idea to have, especially if you're aiming to get an army of full of dinosaurs where you can heal, and they're gonna get a lot of effect from it. For now, doesn't seem like I have too much to do. I still have the Visions of the Old Ones. That number is the timing. Okay, you have 3 turns and 5 turns to complete those. But Oxyotl has already traveled, and I'm thinking on maybe instead of doing that, I'm gonna go and conquer the islands here, and that will give me a nice foothold in this area. So let's go already. I kind of wanted to go ambush success chance, but I really want to go immediately red line, focus everything, and show you how it can happen, because these guys are going to get a lot of experience really fast. So yeah, they have Skaven Corruption. I was just confirming, because if they have Skaven Corruption, well, then there's Skaven there. I cannot land here, but let me see if I can land. Oh yeah. It can land here, and that's perfect. That is perfect, exactly. So next turn I can capture that place. That is good. I'm still not under attack anything here. The -10 public order there, it's a problem, but I can always recruit someone. So for now it's fine. Let me check quick deals. Nothing here. It's just checking for anything that is green, and that's it. Now I have to be careful with the gold. I don't want to spend too much on stuff that won't be exactly too important. I already have a little bit of replenishment there on that place, so yeah. And I got next turn sequence, that's okay. I still have one to do, so Tablet of Spawning, that's good for some recruitment costs for skinks, which is always nice. I can upgrade this for 2000, certainly, just keep upgrading. And now we have this situation here where he actually moved in, and that's some wolf rats. So this is the main army from him, and he's already retreating. So we're gonna have a nice battle here against Ickbold the Infectious. It stays decisive victory. I could not fight it, but I like to showcase how to do this earlier on. So those wolf rats are super dangerous. Some of them have armor piercing as well, which means that they're like a dog unit with armor piercing is already terrifying. So that's the biggest problem. The other ones have poison, so it's not always like good for you that he's using the poison ones. You know, it's also a nice debuff. So I'm gonna try to just hold the line and attack them. And I completely forgot the Menace Below. There it comes. I'm glad that actually my units can respond very quickly. So Menace Below is not really that important. Sending a Fireball, just trying to get some damage here. And I'm using the Bastiladons as like soaking, so trying to force the wolf rats to either attack the Bastiladon or die trying to go around it, you know, and it seems to be working well. So I'm sending in my infantry all in to attack. And this time there's a lot of clan rats, so these guys are going to survive a little bit more. There we go, that's a fireball right in the middle. I think I was targeting the Lord, the enemy Lord. I don't know if I was or not. No, the enemy lord is here. I just saw the splash attack there. So yeah. But overall, these guys have done really well. The first charge is always important to get. It's always important to get a little bit of a charge bonus here. And also important to make sure that the enemy takes that initial charge. So one unit of wolf rats trying to go around me won't do too much. And yeah, plenty of enemy units already retreating. I gotta be careful because some of my chameleon skinks that I sent over there to just try to avoid, to try to get to the back, to attack them from the back. They were caught in by the wolf rats, so you gotta be careful with those. Chameleon Stalkers is just very good against any Skaven army, Bretonnian armies, Vampire Coast armies, so it's not like, you gotta think like, okay, they're not good against the Khorne armies or maybe Dark Elf armies. But everything else that is on Lustria, they can handle it. Even Cathay units, they can handle it pretty well. Especially with some buffs. So yeah, a nice addition to the roster. It was. Talk like Yoda I am. So overall, they're now retreating. Always pursue them in the end. Okay, always pursue them in the end because it gives me more XP. I am pursuing, but I'm not showing you the pursuit. Okay. And now, do I want the gold? I think now I want the gold. And now I regret that I could have been taking the gold and would be much better. Okay, so I think I want Flock of Doom or increased mobility. Yeah, I need to go for the increased mobility here and replenish troops and boost income. And I'm gonna risk the force march. Okay, I got some blessed chameleon skinks. Yeah, I'm gonna risk the force march because I already defeated 2 armies from these 2 full armies, and I'm predicting that he doesn't have anything else there. So I'm wondering if I should have the Slan Priests now because I have those blessed units, or if I should avoid that. Because having a secondary army, I think it's good to hold those possessions over there. But maybe next turn, so that I avoid a little bit. So aim for the head, 5 turns, missile strength, that's excellent. I got the tier 2 building there, the taming pen, so I can recruit a few more Bastillodons. And yeah, I want to get to the tier 3 as soon as possible. I need 4,000 and a little bit more turns for growth. So yeah, he has some units here, but those won't cause me too much trouble, I think. I cannot auto-resolve this because it's a siege battle, but I can fight it. So let's have a nice siege battle. And there we go. We're going to use the chameleon skinks. The biggest problem with chameleon skinks is that it's like a projectile. It's like a javelin. It doesn't go through the air. It's not exactly like a javelin. It's more like a bullet, actually. So they won't be able to hit many targets on the walls, but they will. This is an effect that it has on the AI. It will force them out of the walls. If they're under fire, they will be forced out of the walls. Look at this. Like, there's no way they're going to get hit by this, but they're still, some shots go through, but they're still getting pushed out of the walls, which is excellent for me, right? So even though I'm spending ammunition and I'm killing nothing, I've cleared the enemy walls, which is great. And now I'm buying time for the ladders to be placed. Yes, I use ladders, sue me. And for the Bastillodons to wreck the gates so that I can enter. So 1 menace below is gonna be all she wrote. I mean, Chameleon Stalkers can do it just fine. And I'm sending my units that have missiles, of course, to the walls and trying to attack the enemy units over here. Either they engage in the walls, or they get fired upon by the units that already have on the walls. So Red Crested Skinks and Chameleon Stalkers, perfect units to get the walls as well. And it seems like he opened the gates for my Bastillodons. And I cannot tell you how much these guys they held on. So Bastillodons are super tanks. They don't get hit unless the enemy has a lot of armor-piercing missiles. They don't get down quickly at all. They just seem like they're regenerating themselves. But yeah, now I'm using some of my missile units, skipping a little bit ahead. My red-crested skinks, they do a lot of damage. It's amazing the animation, they just jump in and jump out. They just like jumping. Pretty skinks. They just love being skinks, don't they? So, stalkers are also doing a nice damage, which is great. They're not StarCraft 2 stalkers, but they'll do the damage. And over here now, the enemy is doing the same thing that I did, which is shooting my units on the walls. But he doesn't have a lot of them. He has Skaven slaves, so I guess I can survive that for a while. Bastiladon still surviving, as you can see, still doing damage. It's not like they do a lot of damage, they just, you know, hold on for a while. And now that I've broken through the gates, finally I can send in Oxyotl and my other lord, my other hero. I'm gonna cast a fireball here. I think I have a scroll of blast, so it's gonna be a nice casting here. I think I was managing the other units at this point, just ensuring that they will get. And now here we go, a nice fireball to the middle there, sending the Troggledon. And the idea here is that, look at the leadership lowering, not the health. Look at the leadership lowering. Suddenly there's a lot of units from the AI that have halfway leadership. So we just have to start damaging other units to ensure that they will break away. Like this is just 4 units of dinosaurs that jumped in, and they already did quite the damage, so that's cool. They're retreating. I don't care if they die, I care that they retreat, because that army losses is what we're going for. So I think I only need to affect these 2 units of Night Runners so that they'll retreat immediately. The balance of power is completely in my favor. So I'm sending in my Bastiladon to attack here. Notice how the leadership immediately starts lowering on the enemy. And finally he made it rampage. It's fine. At this point it's quite fine if he rampages. But I'm gonna try, I think I'm gonna try and cast. Yeah, there we go. That's a scroll of blast. It actually did a lot of damage, and it's going to help out tremendously over here. There's only 1 unit of Night Runners who I need to attack a little bit. And I think as soon as I gave an attack order to my missile units, they started running. So that's the victory. That was a nice siege. It's always like this currently. It's always take the walls, position units on the walls, fire to the units inside, and usually he has everything there. So yeah, I'm starting to think that this is a good place to actually hold on. Not starting to think, but starting to think that it can work. So Earthblood, yes, but Flock of Doom is also nice. I need to stimulate growth, and then it will be Flock of Doom and then more Earthblood. And for now, I don't think I can hold this, but I'm gonna try. And over here, I just need to keep skipping turns. So turn 11, I'm going to start there. Turn 17, I'm going to start tier 3. Maybe turn 20-ish, I'll have the construction of the tier 3. That's the sort of plan that you gotta have. So for now, that means that from now until turn 20, this army needs to do everything. It needs to be good at doing that. So I have some chameleons, blessed chameleon skinks and regular skinks as well. So the blessed normal skinks. So I'll likely do an army, but that'll be on the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.